Hey, I'm Chef Tom with All Things Barbecue, and today we're making a smoked tri-tip chili. We are gonna make a nice big pot of chili today, but before we get everything rolling in our Dutch oven, I wanna get some smoke on our meat. So we've got 2 tri-tip roasts here, both of them weighing about 2 to 2.5 pounds. And these came from Creekstone Farm, so I know they're gonna be delicious. The first thing we're gonna do is just trim up a little bit on the outside. Any of the silver skin, we can take that off. Any excess fat on the outside, we can take off. All right, next thing we wanna do is get our rub going. And we're gonna need just a little bit of something to help bind that rub to the meat. In this case, I'm gonna use a little bit of Melinda's hot sauce, but really oil, mustard, anything like that would work just fine. The rub that we're using today is Cattleman's Grill Steakhouse seasoning. And this is like a Southwest steakhouse seasoning. It's got some ancho in it. It has garlic, some really great flavors and some herbs in there. And that's gonna play really well with our chili later on. All right, now we've got our tri-tip seasoned up, so we're gonna head over to the smoker. So we'll place these tri-tips here on the second shelf of our Yoder Smokers YS640 pellet grill. And this is set at 225 degrees. So we're gonna give this about an hour to an hour and a half just to soak up some smoke before we cube it up and throw it into our chili. Now while tri-tips are smoking, why don't we take a look at what else we're gonna need to make this chili. For our seasonings, we'll be using a ½ teaspoon of red chili flakes, 2 teaspoons of cumin, 2 tablespoons of chili powder, and 2 tablespoons of Cattleman's Grill Steakhouse seasoning. And that's the same seasoning that we put on the tri-tips. For our aromatics and our veggies, we've got 4 cloves of garlic minced, 2 poblano peppers diced, and 2 yellow onions diced. Now, this is not a Texas style chili, so ours is gonna be chock full of beans. We have 2 15-ounce cans of pinto beans that we've rinsed and drained, and we've done the same thing with 2 cans of kidney beans. Then we've got about 3 cups of San Marzano tomatoes, as well as a quart of beef stock. All right, so our tri-tips have been on for about an hour and 15 minutes, and they've taken on plenty of smoke. They're reading about 115 to 120 degrees, so they're very rare right now. But that's fine because we're gonna cube them up and throw them in with our chili, and they'll continue to braise in there. So you can see that this meat is still pretty rare. But what we're gonna do with it is just slice it up into nice little bite-sized cubes. And then as this braises in the chili, it's gonna get really tender. And those nice small bites will be perfect for fitting on your spoon. All of our components are ready to go. So I've turned the grill up to 400 degrees and I've preheated our Dutch oven. I'm gonna start by putting down some olive oil. Now we'll add our onions as well as our poblano peppers. And we want to sweat these down until the onions are translucent. So I'm going to throw the lid on and close it up. All right, those onions are looking really good. So at this point, we want to throw in our spices and rub. We'll also add in our garlic. Give that a stir. And then we'll go ahead and throw our tomatoes in. All right, so let's give this mixture probably about 5 to 10 minutes just to cook down, get nice and hot and bubbling around the edges. All right, everything's nice and hot now, so we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients and then we'll let this cook until the meat is nice and tender. Give this a mix so everything's distributed evenly. Then we'll add our beef stock. So everything's covered, and I've got probably a ½ cup to a cup left in here. I'm just gonna save that for later in case we need to add some more liquid. But for now, what we wanna do is just make sure that everything inside of here is covered with stock. All right, let's throw the lid on this, let it work its magic. All right, we've passed the 3-hour mark on this chili, and you can see how nice and thick this is. The meat is just falling apart, super tender. So I think it's time we take this off the grill and go plate it up. So to finish this off, we're not gonna forget, a week ago we smoked some cheese and it's been mellowing out ever since. So we wanna cold smoke some cheese to put on top of our chili, right? We're gonna need just a couple of tools, one of which is an amazing smoke tube. This is just a metal tube, it's perforated. What we do is we fill it with pellets and then we light the end with a torch. And then we're gonna place it inside the grill. I wanna place my tube down here on the bottom left side. And then I'm gonna come over here and flip on our Yoder Smokers YS640 pellet grill. But I'm not gonna press start. Now what this does is it allows the fans to run without creating any heat. And this is truly unique to this product because now we can circulate air without having any hot air. And this ensures that the smoke that flavors the cheese never becomes stagnant, it's always moving. And it gives us a much better flavor in the end. I've placed a frog mat here on the second shelf and it's silicone coated, which means that we can leave this cheese up here without having any worries about it sticking. I've got a couple of sticks of yellow sharp cheddar and a couple of white sharp cheddar. All right, it's been about 2.5, 3 hours since we started smoking our cheese. And this is a really good time to take it off. One, because it's taken on plenty of smoke, and two, because we don't want to let it sit in that danger zone where bacteria can be formed for too long. So what we're going to do is remove this. And we're gonna let it chill in the fridge until that temperature comes down and these solidify really nicely again. And then from there, what we need to do is give it about a week of time for that smoke to mellow. Because if you were to bite into this right now, it would be super intense smoke flavor. It's really not enjoyable. So what we do is we wrap this in a vacuum sealed bag, stick it in the fridge, and in 1 week's time, it's gonna be perfect. So it still smells nice and smoky, but of course that's had time to mellow out now, so it won't be quite so intense. And we'll just grate some of this right on top. Got fantastic flavor, and the texture and the mouthfeel is unreal. If this isn't the perfect fall Sunday food, I don't know what is. I hope you and your family enjoy this one. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please click the subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, go to thesauce.atbbq.com. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.